Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. It's Lori-Lynn. I am the High Priestess and I go by the business name of Spirit Within Us because we all are connected to Spirit and to one another through energy. And so it's to connect our energy, connect to our energy and to become the best version of who we are. I am a medium. I am an intuitive. I am a true empath. I channel messages, and I've been doing this for as long as I can remember. And so what I have to put these back. What I am doing each day is a reading that will include whatever is most important for you to hear, you to know at this point, this time in your life for today. And it can be a lesson that's continuing on, but we always have lessons that we're going through, and it's to look at a situation and see that situation and then make the best choices. So I've picked 3 piles, and the first pile is, it's a geode. It's absolutely gorgeous. My girlfriend Sydney and I smashed it open on full moon, and it was stunning. It took us forever, it seemed, but it is stunning. And so that's the first one, my Geode, and it came with a number 12. So those of you in group 1 are going through a space of something new within your life, or moving forward into a new direction. So it's almost like shutting the door on something and now opening up another door. And it's almost like everything is becoming synchronized, and there is a coming together. Group 2 is the Sodalite. It's a stunning stone. It's a blue purplish. It's one of my favorite stones. It's absolutely gorgeous. And the Sodalite comes with the number, came with the number 8. The number 8 represents wisdom. And so number 7 is knowledge. So it's taking that knowledge, which is education, learning, and it's taking it to the next level of using that knowledge into experience so that it becomes wisdom. It becomes concrete within you. That is what wisdom is. The third pile is the green rock and the number 12. And again, with the number 12, it's about moving from one space to the next space. And they just said owning where your journey has changed is that you've begun to own who you are. And for you, that's been quite a journey that you need to recognize. So pile 1 is the Geode, pile 2 is the Sodalite, and pile 3 is the green stone, and either Flourite. I'm not really sure what the stone is, but it's very beautiful, but I don't know what it is. So take your time. If you need to pause the video, do so. If you'd like, please like my video, share it, and subscribe to it because that helps me out. And now we're going to start with pile number 1, which is the Geode, chopped up, and the number 12. And so let's see where our messages take us. For this first part of the reading, I am using the Magic Spirit deck, and I love this deck. It's quite old. It was given to me. It's quite an expensive deck, so I'm very grateful to the person that did. There's a word for it. They gifted it to me. Thank you. And I am very grateful for that. Okay, so pile 1, what you're not doing, what you're suppressing at this time is whatever's going on within your situation. Today, you need to take some time out for yourself. You need to take alone time. So it's not just time out for yourself. It's productive time of going within. Productive time of thinking about situations and experiences and just trying to find out what you're missing, per se. So I think what Spirit's saying is that you are responding to things and you're just doing reactions. So whatever happens is like you're reacting to it, or you're just responding to it. And what Spirit wants you to do is step back and look at the situation. Look at it all and see it from a totally different perspective, from a higher perspective, from that wisdom. So it's something that you actually know, but you may not be able to apply it. So Spirit's saying you can apply it, but you need to take that time alone to move you forward, to become that person that you really need and most want to be. Or, you know, whether this has to do with work or to do with, you know, home life or relationship, you need to step back and look at the situation differently. For whatever it is, there is a situation that needs to be taken into consideration, different aspects, different reasoning. It's not always to say, you know, that's okay, this happened to you, so you get to do this to me. That's not the way it works. It is, you're responsible for yourself. Anybody else is responsible for their selves. So you get to control your own emotions. You get to analyze your emotions. You get to look at them, and then you get to feel them, and then you get to make the choices. But it's really grounding yourself and getting yourself settled, because when you're making choices, you want to make this choice from this really beautiful place within. It's a place of love, rather than, you know, feeling guilty, or, you know, there's actually, they just said to me, feeling pleasure. So perhaps something's blocking you from feeling a pleasure, and that is getting in the way of a relationship that's going on at this time. So the next two cards that come out that balance this energy. Okay, so this is in regards to, this whole reading is in regards to love and a relationship. That's very clear. So you'll get a little bit more on that. It can also be applied to work, if you kind of change a few of the words around. But as I'm just going to present as it's comes up to me, because that's the only way that I know how to do it, and how Spirit just sends the messages, and I just have to relay them. So this is very much about love, and it's about a coming together. It's about an acceptance, and there's an offering as well, but perhaps you're not seeing that offering because, or you're not seeing the truth behind a person, who they truly are. You may not be seeing that. You need to see the truth of who they are, and that is balanced by the King of Wands. So the King of Wands really is a responsible, a respectful, mature person that takes action, that does things. And perhaps right now, and it may be that both of you are now reacting. So if you're speaking with this person right now, you may need to take a break. And it doesn't mean a break for, you know, separate. It just means you need to take a break to go within, to really refocus on what's important to you, what's important to your world, what's important to your journey of the soul. That's what it's always about, is this journey of the soul, because we're here to learn lessons. And it's very apparent that right now this lesson, this is a major arcana card with the Lovers. And so you might have had this journey in regards to love and relationship that may have had some sort of falsehood to it, because you were always reacting, you weren't responding, you weren't taking action. And so now you're just saying, sit back. And it's almost, they need to take the action. They need to figure out their own life, their own world, and they will. There's a sense also that they may be a little bit scared. And that's, not sure why I'm getting that in here. It's almost because they have their back towards something, and they're just a little bit, rather than being proud, which is where they need to be, and they can be proud. But it may be that a similar, you two may be twin flames, and that's so that you're mirroring one another. And so that fear or that blame, there may be a little bit, so they may be holding back on taking that action until they go within and see what their role is in this and what do they truly want. Okay, yes, because the next card is the Knight of Cups. And the reality is the Knight of Cups is a spiritually guided, directed, nurtured, and valued relationship. So this card is in the position of the meditation. And so when you're being asked to go within yourself, when you're being asked to meditate on something, with the Nine of Cups, you need to know that you are okay. That this person will, protect you. That is what they most want for you, is to protect you. This person is very much in love with you, and just some fear involved on your side. I think this relationship may have started when you were quite a bit younger, and there's a lot of it's interesting, it's the way they're saying it, there's a lot of love lost between the fear, and I think then that's why going within and looking at it with your eyes wide open. Okay, open up and see how that you do deserve this, that you've earned this, that it's not your reward, because we aren't one another's rewards, but we can be one another's mentors and partners and lovers, and people that we should be surrounded with to create a world, a life that we most want. So when you're in meditation, it's to visualize this, to see this, to know that this is what you truly want. Don't back away from it. Move forward to it. So it's sometimes a good idea here through meditation. It's also to, you may want to make create a vision board and see what the vision board has to say, and look at it later on. And I just got sidetracked. When you have a vision board, it helps you when you're meditating, because you can see things, that it's visual. That's why it's called a vision board. But it's visual, but it can be happy, and it could be, what you really want. So make sure you're putting down what you truly, truly, truly want, rather than what you think you want or what other people think you want. That's going within yourself and deciding what you want and need for yourself. So the card in position of your body, I would say your sensations, your feelings, and it's the 10 of Pentacles. And the 10 of Pentacles is about, in this position, in this card, what they just said, the 10 of Pentacles is about knowing and meaning. Now, it's about, legacy. It's seeing the family. And so if that's what you want, that's what you have to walk towards. You can't walk away from it. You have to walk towards it. Because if you turn around and walk away from it, you're not going to get it. Or just being open to it. But this is a coming together, a connection of all those things that are truly important to you. And it's the abundance, and it's the true abundance. And the true abundance isn't just wealth. It isn't just, money. It isn't financially. True abundance is abundance of all kinds. It's an abundance of love. It's an abundance of commitment. It's abundance of faith. It's abundance of traveling. It's just an abundance. It's bringing forth all of what you want, but you have to be able to envision that and feel that from the bottom of your toes right to the top of your head. And that's setting yourself into a vibration that's not blocking, it's allowing. And that's what you need to do within your body. And so the next card is in the position of your your noggin, your thinker, your brain, your mind, what's on your thought. Oh my God. All right, is the card of the Ten of Cups. So really what's on your mind is staying together, being in love, being, this whole reading couldn't be more spectacular when it comes to a relationship. And the Ten of Cups is a commitment, and it's a soul-guided commitment. You are twin flames. You are soulmates. You are meant to be together. You're meant to be one. You're meant to be united. It's the word that's so important is you're so harmonious. There's a bit of coyness. There's a bit of vulnerability, but it's all a bit of, so that it keeps that spark alive. And so, that's within your noggin, within your thinking, it's to keep positive, to know what you want and keep your thoughts geared towards that. And you can't be positive all the time. So the card of Judgment didn't come out, but it's coming into my mind. The card of Judgment is stop judging yourself. Define yourself by what you've done, by what you know, by who you are. Define yourself in this position of going back and thinking, and stop being so hard on yourself. You may have done things wrong in your life, but guess what? We all have. So let's be gentle and bring forth this Ten of Cups, this world, these dreams, this intention that we want. Keep your mind focused on what it is you what it is you want, you truly want. But you're making that decision down here. You're clarifying this position up here. You're finding the unity in the position here. So keep your mind open and occupied with thoughts of pleasure and love and all the wonderful things that you so deserve and so want. Okay, the next card is in the position of your heart, and it's the Nine of Pentacles. So really, you've been working really hard. And so within your heart is, it's almost like you're being blessed. You're being blessed for all the wonderful commitments that you've made. I also am hearing that this person, again, I'm not sure if I said this in here, but there's a mirror between this person and yourself, and they really, the part of the mirroring is they want to be able to present and to give you what it is that you value. And so they're waiting for that exact moment. And know this within your heart. If you know it within your heart, you can sit with it and you can send it all that vibrational energy, and you can allow them their process, or allow them, if there happens to be a situation that, money may be tight or a little bit not the same as it has been. There's a lot of people that are experiencing that, but at this time, allow them that period of growth and knowledge to move forward, to get their balance, to get that commitment, to really be strong within their pride, really be strong within their heart, so your hearts can connect, that love will connect, and just the whole unity. Okay, the last card within this part of the reading is the final card. Wow, is the Three of Pentacles, and that's a working together. The Three of Pentacles right here represents all three aspects, mind, body, spirit, all coming together. So Spirit's working hard on your connection to come together. It's working hard, and you're resisting that by not getting quiet. You keep thrashing out. And so it's time to recognize this, go within, sit down, think about it so that you can move forward. Okay, so I'm going to bring out the Romance Angel decks, and I'm going to pick out four, just because 4 cards for you. Oh, see, because you know what? I just thought this was the Geode, and because we broke it out, I've always said I can read anything. I can read a rock on the road. Anyways, I'm not going to go into that part of it, but it just came to mind that it was so hard to crack this surface open, to crack this Geode, and it was fun. I'm not going to lie, it was fun banging it and trying to. I had no idea what was going to happen. But the beauty within, once you do crack it open, is stunning and mesmerizing. So this is a coming together, a unity, a mind, body, spirit connection. And then being able to give back to the community, give back to people as people have been kind to you. And that's the circle of life. That's the circle of creation that's a circle of love. And that there's no room in that circle of love for discord. There can be love, and only love and truth. So stick towards your truth and stop being mean to yourself and stop judging yourself and just work towards what you truly want and you deserve. So, okay, so the first card that comes out in the Romance Angel card is the card of forgiving and learning. And so there may be somebody that you need to, it may be this person, or it may be somebody else within, that can help you with this, because the cards of forgiveness, of learning, and it says that as you release and heal your past, and we've talked about that especially with this card, is releasing the guilt, the pain. Our past is typically not what we thought it was. It's something completely different. And we put things upon it, and our memories are not as accurate as we'd like to believe they are. They're not. We remember feelings, we remember ideas, and it may be completely different than what it was. So that's why you need to go back and find the places, the areas that you need to forgive. Okay, that's going to move the relationship forward. And perhaps within this relationship, there is forgiveness that needs to be had. They need to forgive themselves. You need to forgive yourselves. Spirit is driving you forward. Spirit is driving you forward to heal the past so that you can live in the present moment. The next card that comes up is playfulness. That's something I am a little guilty of, is that sometimes I take life too seriously. And I have so much in the last year or so, much so in the last 7 years. I will say, though, that I love to be playful. I love to have fun, and I love to laugh. And it's been a little not so great because that just hasn't been available. It is like, I don't know why I'm yawning, and I apologize. So it's time to recapture the innocence, the romantic innocence that allows your inner spirit, that inner child, to have the fun, or have fun like an inner child. I have this little girl who lives next door to me, and she's just so darn adorable because of her innocence. And I just find that so fascinating. And because as we get older, we lose so much of that, because we have to become, or we feel that we have to become serious. And the truth is we really don't have to become as serious as we think we do. And so be more playful. You know what? When my puppy, Watson, and when he was first born, we had the litter. Not me personally, but my Haley girl had a litter. So Watson was one of the litters, one of the pups. And I never wanted to take away Watson's innocence. He has such a special gift for a dog. It blows my mind sometimes. He knows when people are sick. He knows when people are going to pass. It's uncanny and it's true. And we've experienced it on several occasions. He knows who he needs to be with and go towards. So it's actually a good thing. And so anyways, that's beside the point. I didn't want to get rid of that innocence, yet perhaps that's the reason for those two being in my life, is to go back to the playfulness, that youthful innocence, where my coach had said to me at one point, you need to go in your backyard and do cartwheels. So what we had to do in my coaching class was to write out 5 things that you loved to do as a child and why. And I wasn't aware that the second part of the exercise was to go out and do it. But I did. One of the things I loved to do as a child was to do cartwheels all around my yard. We had a huge yard. And so I went in the backyard on the farm and I did cartwheels, and my 2 dogs thought it was insane, but it was so much fun. There's a synchronicity that happened at the same time, and I'm not going to go through that story because I could tell stories forever, and anybody that has ever had a reading with me can tell you that I can tell stories forever. Wow. Okay, so the next card is reconciliation. So someone from your past is waiting to return to your life. So somebody that either may have dissed you or may have blocked you, or I need this card right here. Okay, that there may have been conflict within this relationship, and it's now time to reconcile first within yourself, which is why we have this card, the reconciliation. But why we need to reconcile, so that we can make amends for this conflict and clear the air. So whatever happened, there needs to be a level of reconciliation, a level of forgiving of the lessons. This all speaks of forgiving and learning, of finding some fun, and then reconciliation. And the hunter of conflict will go ahead and they're going to assist you with this, so that you're going to this place of choosing to take action and not just responding and acting. Choosing to take action. Okay, interesting. So there may be another person involved, and so this card is release your ex. And so the time has come to close, to clear your energy. I heard close that door, close that energy source, because it still remains to drain. So whether this was somebody that you were married to, somebody that you went out with, somebody that you're connected with, you need to release them. You need to release their energy so that you are fully open to, you're fully open to walk towards your dreams. So the next hunter that is with you, have dealt with this conflict, and now it's a hunter of dreams. What do you dream? They're going to go ahead and they're going to help you to find you, lead you towards. So once this part of this door is closed, new doors are going to open in so many different areas. It comes from releasing your ex, whatever that means to you in your life, but release the past, release it. Some people could be releasing something from a long time ago. It doesn't necessarily have to be an ex from yesterday or last month or last year. It could be an ex from a long time ago, someone that just holds on to you. And perhaps what it is you're still looking for that sort of love. Okay? That sort of love is still available. But you have to release this, and then you'll be guided towards the new love. And the final card that came up was the ancestor. So this is a past loved one, ancestor of knowing. And you have been blessed with this. This is the owl. Just, it's the owl to me anyways. The ancestor of knowing, and that is just trust your intuition, trust what you know, trust who you know, trust the messages, trust your feelings, your thoughts, trust your guidance, trust, believe in yourself. How's that? Because Spirit is asking you to have faith, to follow your wisdom, and to follow your guidance, to listen and to act upon that listening, to act upon what is necessary for you to bring into your world all of that, what you truly, truly, truly want. So I'm going to put, okay, so this person does miss you. I'm not this is very interesting, because before I looked at this card, it says this person misses you, but I'm not sure that they're ready. They need to come to terms. Again, going back to this card, is right now I can't even look at you. And I believe that's because they are also being very judgmental. They believe that there's something that they've done what is wrong. But let's go back to the ancestor of knowing, and let's go back to all of these messages and the guilt and the shame and areas that aren't yours to own. So this person really needs to take a look at it and see that they're carrying around an energy that just isn't theirs to carry around. So the final card is yes. So this relationship is meant to be. It's spiritually guided. That's as clear as can be. There is work to do today. It's about thinking, returning to that place of the thought process, understanding your situation, understanding your world, your life, your decisions up to this point, and moving forward in every aspect of your dreams, and making all of your decisions, all of your choices based on your dream. Okay, pile one, that was it for you. I hope that I helped you out some, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Now, group 2 is the green card, thank you. The green stone, whether it be fluorite or calcite, and the number 12, which is a whole new starting over for you. So, what are you blocking, pile 2? Oh, easy deasy, easy peel. Okay. So the first card that comes up of what you're blocking, what you're suppressing, is the 5 of Pentacles. What the 5 of Pentacles represents is walking away. Okay. So what I'm saying is either you haven't walked away from something, or you need to walk away from something. But you need to walk away from something, and you're not doing it because of fear. It's like you have this cloak, or you need to walk to something. It may be. It may not even just be walking away from, but you need to walk towards something you're not walking towards. You're walking away from rather than walking towards. So it's not about leaving something. It's about almost like giving up instead of, and so you're actually, I'm feeling an embarrassment, I guess, of the situation. Maybe you feel that you've done things wrong. You know, or hasn't gone the way you wanted. But the idea is that you need to walk, and you need to walk in the direction with your eyes open, and you need to take the cloak off and not be embarrassed. You need to be tall and strong about your decision. Okay, so it's owning what you've decided to do, that you've chosen to do, because there was a reason that you did that. So take off your cloak and hold yourself strong and with pride. Okay, wow, the next two cards. So for you, pile two, and I'm just going to say God bless, because I think you've been through such an emotional, traumatic time recently, and I think that there's been a sense of not a sense of non-belonging. I do sense the sense of non-belonging is coming from within you, and it's not that people haven't, I'm going to say, placed this upon you, because they have directly, and when we're kids, it is up to our parents to protect us, to guide us, to lead us, and that's not always the case. So sometimes you feel like you spend so much time fighting against your ego, and it's because you need to come to terms with your ego. And ego isn't always, typically when we think of ego as, how I always describe it, is Donald Trumpish. Somebody that's very boisterous. And there's a reason that he's like that, and I don't care. But anyways, this is the side of the ego that feels guilty, that feels shame, that feels like they've left something, or they have something, they haven't always made the best choices. It's going back and understanding that your choices were put upon you almost. It's like my niece said to me once, but I'm living in a box that I did not create. And I said, yes. However, nobody but you is responsible for tearing down the walls of that box. Because if you want somebody else to do it, they're not going to do it. Or rarely will they do it. Okay, they can help you, they can assist you, but they're not going to do it. You need to do the work yourself. Somebody else does the work, then they learn. You don't learn. You learn from your experiences. Okay, so to move forward, that for you is to take that cloak off, be proud of who you are. Fight that ego, that in your head. Fight the ego, fight the dragon. The stories, whenever you say something negative, say to yourself, that is not who I am. Who I am. And then if you place your hand on your heart and say, I am loving and kind, and I deserve the world. This ego was a result of, and in this position, I tend to think it has to do with parenting. But if it wasn't your parents, I'm not necessarily saying it was, but a parent or people in a higher position that you trusted. And that's maybe part of this guilt. It may be saying, I trusted. Why did I trust? You trusted because that was what you're supposed to do at the time. So you're carrying around burdens that aren't yours to carry around. So you need to remove that cloak. You need to realize that your ego is strong, that your ego can be proud, that your ego can help you to take action steps to your ego can help you to move forward and release all those thoughts and memories that just don't serve you. They don't serve you. They haven't served you. They're not serving you. You need to let them go. You need to release them back with blessings and love. I always say that to people that need to release, is to release with blessings and love. Whew, you got a big day coming up, or a little experience. So the next card, which is in the meditation position, is the Nine of Swords. Again, this is about our thought process and being hurt, and as being hurt by others. And it does come from our lack of ego, our lack of self-worth, self-pride. It comes from the area of ego. And it's just you not wanting to listen to it anymore. It's like, enough, enough. I need to just be me. So when you are in meditation, that's exactly where you need to be. You need to, first of all, visualize. You can see, if you have a group, I don't know why, this is the meditation. So you go within and you bring in the lights. You bring in the white light, which is connected to the divine. You bring in the healing light, which is blue. And the blue light heals all that as it goes through, and it can stay going through. And then you bring in the golden light, which brings in a protection that makes you stronger. You start at that place, and then you become really quiet, and then you can ask, step forward, any people that may have not served you, that you may have listened to, or blindly that that did you a disservice. But know also that everything that we experience, we came here to experience. And I know that's a hard pill to swallow for some people a lot of times, but the harder the lessons, the more beautiful the spiritual journey. Coming to a place of re-understanding, of re-love, of rebirth of yourself, of making that choice of not to let those goblins eat away at you anymore. So it's to say, this doesn't mean anything to me. These are not my messages. I send you back with blessings and love. Okay, so I hope that made sense. So the next three cards are cards within the heart, the mind, and the body, the mind, and the heart. And so where's your okay, what a spectacular reading. Okay, so the card in position of your body is the 10 of Wands. Clear as daylight. And what I'm actually receiving at this point, this time from this message, is that you've conquered a lot. You've been through a lot. You've gone through a lot. But you've also been left out in many different ways. And so you feel that you're almost don't belong. But that's actually you that's kept people away. And it's because of this process that's taken you to where you are right here, right now, at this exact time and place. That's what's taken you to you. So what's blocking you from moving forward is letting those sticks down and seeing that you have a pathway out of there, seeing that you have accomplished, that you have accomplished. You can see that. You have that reward, but either there's just a few images that are going through my head, and one is like, look at me, look at me, look at me. And that may be that all you want is for someone to acknowledge you. And, if you can see that you might be pushing them away, maybe let that barrier down, okay? And let the wands fall down and create an action plan for you to move you forward, to walk with pride and to walk in light of your journey. So the next card is in the card of, it's actually a perfect card for this, card of your noggin, and it's the Four of Cups. And now the Four of Cups, again, and this is, for me, is interpreted, I can't remember what the word is, interpreted as those messages of good and evil. That's what's blocking you in so many cases, and why you wear this this cloak over your head is because, it's like the good versus the bad. Do I do this? Do I not do that? So you're continually pulling each side, not sure where to go, how to do it, who to listen to, when the truth is, who to listen to is you, not the fear, not the past messages. That's why you need to let it go. You need to let that go, so you begin to listen to yourself and your journey. Wow, very beautifully. The card within the position of your heart is the Empress. And this is a card of fulfillment in a different sense. But when I see her is your heart. And this is like a softness. It's almost like who you always wanted to be was a gentle, loving, kind, emotionally, I'm going to say attractive person that, you know, that was very nurturing. And so that's truly who you are in your heart. And so embrace that person within your heart and allow that goodness to shine through, to shine outward, and stay focused. Set that intention that that's what you're going to do. You're going to walk away from this part and you're going to start listening to your heart rather than listening to messages that don't serve you. Wow, beautifully done. Okay, group pile number 2. The final card is the 8 of Wands in the position of your spiritual commitment that's needed to be learned at this time. And this is the 8 of Wands. And this card is about, I'm very simply, but going with the flow in harmony. And so you're moving out of all of this discord, this disarray, this chaos, and it's mostly in your head. And you're moving towards the Empress. And you're doing so in harmony. And you're doing so away from all of those voices, all of those messages that are actually cheering you on. Now, because we do choose our lessons, and so you're able to finally see this, it's that much of this this journey has been about your journey of your lifetime. But right now, you're moving from here to there, so you need to make these decisions to release all of that no longer matters, that no longer serves you. Okay, so, oops. I want to take, 4 cards from the Romance Angels deck and see where we're going. So the first card we get is Worth Waiting For. Okay, so for those of you that are in a relationship that if you don't want to listen to this is fine. If you do, if you're looking for a relationship, or if you are looking to nurture the relationship, if you're looking to expand the relationship or to be more harmonious within the relationship, know that it's worth it. It's worth the journey. It's worth the expectation, and divine timing is at play. The next message that comes up is the card of Flirt. And so there may be some flirting action that's going on. And so that's part of, again, I don't know if any of this can happen if you can't do all these things in the first part of the reading. If you can't be honest with yourself about where these messages are coming from. And I don't mean that to sound mean, because the messages are not yours to own, yet you are. So they are coming from you because you haven't let them go. Okay? So you need to be in a place that you can flirt and be really comfortable with that. Being comfortable with your body, you're comfortable with your energy, just being comfortable all around. The next card that comes up is the card of Deception. And so this is one of the most important cards, and it says someone is wearing a false mask. Well, that someone is you. I'm not sure about the other side, but from all of what we've read here, that's you that is, wearing that false mask. And you're flirting with a false mask on. So what you might want, what you might be waiting for, might have come or may be coming, but you put on these airs and you're pushing away. And so it's time to, there's another message in there too. There's time to let the mask down. I'm also getting another message that This may be somebody from the past that may be, I'm going to say, the word that came was creeping, but I'm not going to say that, that may be kind of spying on you in some way, watching you. That's actually better. Sorry. Someone that's watching you. But this is somebody that you do know, and they're watching you. And from afar. And they need you to, first of all, they need to take their mask off. They may be afraid because they see you on such a high level of beauty that they themselves are fearful and they don't understand why. And so they need to release that. So there's two sides to that. And so whichever one may be with you, I need to shuffle. I forgot to do that. So the final card for this is the card of religious factors. I laugh because before I shuffled it, the card that I picked was religious factors, and it had come up in the last reading, and I thought, oh, that was just a mistake. It wasn't, obviously. So this card that comes up is religious factors. So there are religious factors that are influencing your spiritual path, this journey that you're on. And it may be from either side. It may be this person sees you as higher than, or, you know, a more spiritually evolved or connected, or that you're religious, or they are. And that brings them a level of fear. And so there may be needing to, needing to come to terms with it, have a conversation about it. So there's more clarity, there's more understanding. But we also need to remember that to be to turn the light on, to be in that energy of acceptance, of bringing forth, of bringing into our world, into our life, that which we deserve. And so you get to decide. There's always a compromise, and compromise on with clarity rather than outside of that. So the next three cards that I picked have to do with the Shaman's Oracle and who's with you at this time. And the first card, we talked about being playful, and this is a Dancer of Joy. And so the Dancer of Joy is saying, hey, get out there, have some fun. Listen to some music and just let your body go, let your freedom go. This may go back to all of those things that as a child, what did you really love doing? And that you may have been a very passionately loving, adoring child, but a highly sensitive child. And if you were, then that might have been snuffed somewhat. So this is saying, come on, come with me, follow me. I will teach you to dance again. I will teach you. I will take you dancing. I will teach you to have fun. You need more of that in your life. It's almost like trusting more. The second card that comes up is the Shaman of the Stars. So we have your guide that is saying, reach for the stars. Pick one out. Pick out 10 stars. Pick out what you want. Make your decision. And then I'm going to say pray, meditate, intend, set that intention, and shoot for the stars, okay? The final card is the Ancestor of Skill. And the Ancestor of Skill is a rebuilding, of learning, of taking what it is. Look closely at the card, and you can see that it's a figure that seems to be not the same as everybody else, which is us. We're all unique no matter what. No two people are ever alike, not even twins. They're never alike. And they can be as different as day and night as well. This is about skill. It's about finding that skill. It's about having that skill. It's about relearning. It's about understanding your unique abilities, and, you know, understanding that you've jumped through, you know, what you needed to learn to bring you into the next stage that you're going towards. And you can do that as skillfully as you intend. And so Spirit wants you to know that they're with you every step of the way, and to rely on them and ask, set intentions, and have yourself surrounded by Spirit at this time. I'm just going to pull a couple of messages from the Hermit Tarot. Whew. Okay, so you're having an inner relationship that there's some fear happening. And the first card that comes up is, I think we should see other people. So there seems to be a miscommunication or a lack of communication. And I think that lack of communication comes from the fact that you're not being honest, that there's deception, that somebody hasn't quite told the truth within this connection. And so this seems to be the easiest way out. So if you're not going to learn or do any lessons, then this is what's going to be the result of, because of the blocks, of the deception, the fears, the doubts, the shames. So shame. So there's a level of deception in that card as well. Okay, so the next card that comes to mind, the next card is 2. Ugh. Is the Ace of Cups. Okay, so I think that's as clear as it can get. The Ace of Cups is always about, is always about self-love. So it's having to find, perhaps you do need to see other people, maybe to understand the truth of this connection, or maybe to acknowledge and find that self-love, to know what you don't want, and knowing what you do want. But you have to know what you don't want before you know what you do want, and exactly what it is that you do want. I talk a lot about compromise, and compromise is not about letting go of your values, your truth, your core values. Keep those solid. Know your core values and keep them as solid as a rock. And that comes through self-love. Okay, that came up with the card of the number 15. It's the card of sex. And there may also have been, and I'm going to say, and sometimes I don't always like when they say this may not relate to anybody, but there may be some sort of abuse within one or either of your partners, but because this is about you, this relationship is not just about sex. There is a confusion about sex and love. And so when that when that is defined and understood, that's when you can move forward. Loving yourself totally whole and complete, that leads to the most amazing connection and sex that one can ever want. So that's what this is about. Love yourself whole and complete. And so next up is, oh my God, it's a 15 as well. You make me want to do bad things. Okay, this, I believe, when we had the religious card before, I think the hesitancy is this relationship has a lot of passion, and it's very, very fearful passion. And so that's why this self-love is so darned important, because rather than wanting to make change or making choices to make change, you're going to be fearful, because it may have been that you were taught, lots of people, youngins were taught that sex is bad, especially religions. That's not really fair. It is common that some religions will see it as, you know, just you need to be married, you need to be this, you need to be that. I grew up as a Catholic, and I grew up in a very religious family. I do believe in a religion, but I am a very spiritual person. I do believe in the Catholic Church. I'm also open to all other religions. What I believe in is prayer, is intention, is meditation, self-love. Those are the things that I truly believe in, that work towards moving us closer together, as a community. So the final card I have, okay, so I just had this need that I need to I needed to pull a card from this, and I think that this will be very, very important, because we talked about the religious factors and the spiritual factors. And interesting, because this all fell down at that issue. It's almost like you're having to rebuild all over again, because of some of the words or the thoughts or the messages that, you know, were broken down within yourself, that were not relatable. And so this card says, I feel my way into faith one step at a time. So remember that it's one step at a time, and no more than that. It's just one step at a time. That's what's important. Okay, so that's it for pile number 2. And now we move on to high pile number 3. And welcome. This is the Sodalite with the number 12. Again, we're going through to a new beginnings with the Sodalite. And honestly, this rock is so stunning. It's beautiful. It's not mine. It's my friend Signy's. Anyways, put this card in my lap again, and let's get the cards out that we need right now. So, wow. All right. So pile number 3. Yes, pile number 3. Welcome. First thing I say, we're talking here about the card in the position of, what are you resisting, or what are you straying away from. And it's the card of the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is, okay, what I'm going to say is that I do feel this group number 3 is mostly for females. Now, it's not necessarily true, so you may have to, but those are the messages that I'm receiving from this. And what you're suppressing at this time, and it's the King of Pentacles, and what I feel that you are suppressing. So if you're a male and listening to this, it's the reverse. So I'm not sure I can do 2 messaging at the same time. I think that would really complicate myself. So I'm doing this in the female or the feminine context. But I believe that you are pushing somebody away. You're afraid of somebody that is, I'm going to say, strong, self-supported, that is, you're rejecting them. But you're rejecting them because there's a feeling of lack of, that you're not good enough, that you're not sure if you are good enough for them, if you can be what they need. And that this could be in your relationship right now. It could also be in your relationship at work, because it's the King of Pentacles. So this be somebody that not controls, but in a manner of speaking, finances around you. It's also a very slow energy. And it's also, there's some sort of boldness to this, but it's a gentle boldness. So you just need to open up and be willing to allow into your world all that you want. You can't shut yourself down, and you can't let it's just this huge feeling of not allowing something into your life. And so it could even be a business, and you're thinking you need to be at a certain place, or you need to have a certain thing, or you need. I don't know if that's absolutely true that you do need, which is really interesting, because the next two cards that balance that card is the Page of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. And hugely telling for me, because the Page of Pentacles it definitely is a younger spirit that, you know, is proud of their accomplishments. And so they're really not facing what they do have. They've kind of turned, all they need to do is turn around and see all of what they have created, and that you can create with less than can bring you more of. And I hope that made sense. You can create with less than can bring you more of. So you don't necessarily, like, you may be rejecting this King of Wands, or this, you know, thinking you have to have that money, but the truth is you don't. You may just need smaller steps or smaller amounts to move you forward. And what's happening is that this within your mind is creating such a flux of emotions, like the emotional intensity, but you're almost through that. You just have to get to the other side, because you can see on the other side of that is the calmer waters, and it's also safety, and you're not in the boat and splashing in around. So you need to balance the two by recognizing that what you think you need, you don't need absolutely as much as you do. You just need to learn to balance and calm your emotions. And once you've done that understanding that you're good enough, you're whole enough, you're complete enough, and you're worthy enough. That's the word, worthy enough. Wow. So the next card that comes out is the Ace of Pentacles. This is the card in the position of your, meditation. So it's a reflection of when you're setting your intention, or when you're in meditation, to fantasize, it says they are saying, but perhaps what they're saying is that your fantasies do need to change. Your fantasies are also intentions of being able to see that, being able to see what you want to create in your mind, and then feeling that, and embracing that whole connection. That's what's so important for you at this time, is seeing yourself being strong and powerful and proud and accomplished and hardworking and honest, because you've done this all the right way, and you've learned. And that's why we're going to the number 12 again. It's because you've reached like a plateau, and it's time to move forward. So you've come to this place. It's almost like, I know what I want, but I can't get it because, and you keep becausing, but you need to get rid of that word out of your language. And so the next card that, I'm not sure which one is going to have to go into, I think this one. So the next card that comes out, and it's the position of your body, and the card is the Four of Cups. Okay, so the Four of Cups, when I look at this card, this is about, again, going within. This is about listening to messages, listening to stories, but it's also deciphering between good and evil, good and evil, good and evil, good and evil. And that's sort of what gets it. But with the Four of Cups, it's also about an offering that it's almost like you have to block out all of the messages that, because there can be messages that serve you and messages that don't serve you. But what you want to do is sit in your own power, so that you're able to see that there are cups in front of you, and that you are also being offered a cup. And they just said that cup was joy. That was why I had to wear the yellow. So that cup is joy. There's a lot of, you also need to define joy. What makes you joyful? So when you're in meditation, just put the question out there, is what brings me joy? What brings me the most joy? Sorry. That's where you need to go to. So the next card, of course, ace number 2, right above ace number 1, is self-love, is the Ace of Cups. And so this is about vulnerability. This is about believing in yourself. This is about self-worth. This is about knowing that all this love comes from within yourself. It's when we reject love or when we reject something, we're rejecting ourselves. And that's a disservice to ourselves. So this is going back to that place where you really love yourself, because that's going to bring you all the things that you want, knowing that you have enough, that you're worthy enough to attain all the goals that you want. So the final card, not the final card, the card that represents your heart is a card of judgment. So again, it's kind of leading up to pretty much what I'm saying is that you're judging yourself. So if anything's holding you back, you've got this judgment in your heart of unworthiness, of these so to speak, doubts within yourself, and it's, you know, childhood wounds, and you need to stop judging yourself, and you need to start loving yourself. What's in your heart, what's in your soul, love yourself. I also get the feeling like it's okay, and this is, I don't know if I can say this correctly, but this is how it's going to come out, and you have to decipher it yourself. But it's as though you can see on the other side that there is light, that there is light, that there's so much out there. But it's almost like you're down the stairs. So if you can think of somebody that has, you know, been blinded, but what you can see outside, you know there's better, you know there's more. You just have to stop judging yourself in order to move forward. Judgment is a major arcana card. So this is love yourself, whole and complete, self-love. Be selfish for a moment. Selfish doesn't mean judgment on yourself. Being selfish sometimes is really, really awesome, because it means you're taking the time for you, and that's what you need. So don't be so harsh, and you know, you need to go after all of this which can be created. You can see it. So really visualize it. Visualize how you're getting there, how you're going to be there, what you're going to do there. Visualize that. Oh my gosh. So the last card that I get within here is the Two of Cups. That card is obviously it's one of the love cards, and this is somehow as the final spiritual part of the journey for you. Did I show you the card? I think so. This part of the journey is much about thinking that it's never going to come. It's never going to be here. That real love that you've wanted, that you've waited for, that you've desired, most desired. But the truth is that cup is before you. It's right there. It's being offered. You need to accept it. And it is divinely inspired. It's intended for you. And there is a cup being offered to you, a unity being offered to you. So it's to take that opportunity. And, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be in regards to a relationship with another. That could be a relationship, building a business as well. So those are the cards of where your journey is at this time. So I'm going to do the reading, the love reading within here. I have this feeling right now, it's sitting in my solar plexus. And my solar plexus is my, it's in everybody's intuition. And there's just something about that part of the reading that's not sitting well with me, and I'm not completely sure what it is. And I'm going to have to figure it out. So I'm going to pull these cards out and discover where it's coming from, because I just can't pinpoint it at this time. So we're going to go into the Romance Angel cards and pick out 3 cards. 1, 2, 3, easiest. And 1 card of messages. Okay, this is true. This is what's going on, sorry, with this group. Is that you just had a spirit walk in, being a past loved one. This could be somebody that where you're carrying around some denial or some defeat, is that you may have experienced a loss at a younger age, and somebody super, super important to you, or it may not even, it could have been a more recent loss. And this energy is just so strong. And because this can be from more than one person, we have to figure out almost for ourselves, but it's somebody that was past, that wants you to be happy, and you may not fully realize that. You may feel bound to this person, but they just want you to move forward. And so if this is a past relationship that they have passed, you may be walking towards a commitment at this time. And this commitment is bonded in love and spiritually activated by your past loved one. Okay, so the 2 messages that are coming out are true manifestation is about receiving what is the highest good for all. And when we do learn this and see it, and we'll know why, Garth Brooks sang about, something's not coming into fruition, it's because something else is waiting for us, or we're blocking something. So we'll always ask for, we want to receive for the highest good of ourselves, our journey, and for all involved. And so that's what will guide you towards, and then you'll have to know what you need to learn. If you keep blocking, well, you have to manifest what you want, not what you're blocking. So you have to know what you're blocking. That sounded like a circle. The second one, when I make joy a priority, brilliant ideas will come naturally, support will surround me, and movements will form. And this is the card here. And so this really is, I think this has to do with this card again, is that thinking that, joy was lost, but it's not. Oh, that's the message. Okay, that where you're thinking all joy is lost, all joy is not lost. And the first card that comes here is about releasing your ex. And so this is saying that for those of you that this is resonating with, that person that you need to release in order to move on, in order to move your journey forward. And so it's time to release. The second card is true love. And true love, oh, hang on a second. True love is yours. True love is waiting, but only if you're open to it. And so this is a romance of a lifetime. And so perhaps you thought the last romance was a romance of a lifetime. Who says you can't have 2 romances in one lifetime? I have an uncle, and that I would say that that was his story. And I told so many people the story, and he was so in love with my aunt. She was so lucky and fortunate. And after she passed away, he actually found somebody, and it was somebody that was older than he was. And they were together for, you know, maybe, I don't know if it was 10 years, but let me tell you, it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. And so there can be, oh, I just got shivers, 2 romances in a lifetime. So she must have just come through to me. Thank you for sharing that with me. If you can just give me 1 second, because just know that you are being blessed with this romance. And the final card is finances and career. And the message is financial issues are a factor right now. Here's the thing about financial factors and career. And it's possible that you're working on your career. If you're working on your finances, it's possible that they are as well. But I honestly believe that if there's a will, there's a way. And so that sometimes we're putting up blocks. Are we putting up, you know, boundaries to not make it work? And so where you might think that's the issue, it truly isn't. What's the issue is this judging yourself all the time. We had so many pentacles coming out of here, and self-love, and the Ace of Pentacles. You're putting that as the end-all be-all, but the end-all be-all is not. It's now. It's not later. It's now. So look into that. Go back to the self-love. Go back to living your life with joy, and to experiencing all that you truly are meant to experience, and invite joy into your life, and invite that love into your life, and that connection and commitment into your life. Okay, so that was your reading, pile 3, and thank you very much, Namaste, for allowing me to read for you all. Again, just feel so blessed when I am allowed to read for people. It is my gift, and I'm going to do 2 pulls for me. And the Scorpio, very interesting, and the coming together of the Cupid's arrows. That would be nice. That's beautiful, actually, coming together. So that's good. Okay, I thank you all. Namaste. Have an incredible day, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Take care. God bless.